And for today's podcast, we are missing 1 out of 4. Huzzah! Sound the air horns.
Let's get that right out of the way.
The brand! I did it. I win. I've been every podcast so far. Let's go. I win.
I am afraid of what's gonna happen when you are the one missing.
Oh, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, what if I'm not here? And then, because I still have to edit it afterwards. Do I just, like, sample clips from, like, previous podcasts and be like, no, I'm here.
That would be funny if you did that.
I might for a bit. If I'm ever not here, I'll do, like... If I'm ever not here, I'll do it for, like, a bit. But I'm not gonna do the whole thing. That's gonna take forever.
No. Luckily, since we've just been kind of doing normal chatting, I think it'll be much easier instead of, like... Here's our theme for the week. We're talking about physics.
It has been. Oh god, please do not. We are a room full of creatives. You think any of us know physics?
I do. I come from engineers, so... Yeah.
Alright, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I come from engineers.
You know what? I came from Filipinos.
You know what? Just for that, Kaz, you're starting off today with whatever conversation you wanted to have today first. And go.
I don't have anything.
Well, no. That's too bad. Go.
Don't do this to her. Don't do this to her.
I don't have anything. I'm a fraud.
Are you a fraud?
What have I been doing? I've been working. That's what I've been doing.
Working on that sweet NDA.
Sweet NDA. Multiple of them, in fact. Actually, there was something announced recently. It'll come out soonish. I don't know by when, but sometime this month. I was working with the Spooky Month team.
Yay! We love Spooky Month.
It was so fun, but we did a little thing. I got to help with it. I got to do some cleanup. It was really fun. I got to learn some new things. It was great. And it'll come out sometime this month. I don't know when. Probably by the time this episode is out. It's already out. So once you see the thing, you just know, hey, I worked on that.
I'll try to link it if it's out.
Yeah. That and a bunch of Ed's World. I've just been working. I have nothing to say. Not unlike Fishy, who went on vacation!
Huzzah!
Nice segue! Wow! Amazing!
Yeah, so Fishy over here having to go get them Pokemans.
Oh my god. So, Pokemon Go Tour, Hoenn happened recently. And so my entire family decided, hey, let's go to Vegas. At first, it was just like, oh, you know, us that play, like me, 2 of my cousins, and my mom were gonna go. And then my sister's like, hey, I want to go too, I play. And we're like, oh, okay, it'll be the 5 of us. And then my brother's like, I want to go to Vegas. We're like, but you don't play. He's like, I'll play for the weekend. So now suddenly he's going. And then sister's boyfriend's like, yeah, sure, I'll come too. Fuck, why not? And we're like, okay, and so we had to get all of our hotel stuff figured out. Like right when we found out that everyone was going, and we're like, shit, okay. So that was a fiasco. But finally, the Vegas trip, it's time to go, you know. Very fun, like, little road trip. God, every time we go traveling, I'm reminded that, like, fuck, I miss traveling so much. I miss just, like, little road trips. I miss flying. I miss traveling. I used to do it so much as a kid. It was so nice. It was so fun. I love seeing, like, just different places or just riding along in the cars. Fucking mess that up. Anyway. But if there's one thing I learned immediately in getting into Vegas, we stayed at the Harris, by the way. Just for context, that's where we were. So we got to see, like, you know, their casino floor, pizza cake, Bobby's Burgers, like, that stuff was all in there. If there's one thing I've learned, I do not belong in Vegas. And I don't mean that in the, like, the, oh, I'm poor and I don't know what I'm doing kind of thing. No, I mean that in the, I don't drink that much anymore. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I keep my clothes on. I don't gamble. I I'm not the biggest fan of crowded, loud places. I am anxious. I don't belong there. So while everyone else was gambling on the casino floor the first night, I, without saying much, I just said I'm gonna go explore, and then I left them for about 3 hours to go explore. I did what I was gonna do, but also they did not know my location for a while. Because I was like, oh, I want to go, like, I had a mental map of the entire place by the time that we left. I knew almost every nook and cranny in that place. Sadly, the pool was closed, but, at some point, my brother, like, calls me, and he's like, hey! Where are you? And I'm like, oh, like, it just happened to be the time where I was in a very easy to find location. It's like, oh, I'm at Starbucks. He's like, I'm gonna go find you.
I'm at
because, like,
Starbucks in Vegas with the millions of Starbucks that are in Vegas.
funny thing is, that hotel has 2 Starbucks. So, like, that wasn't helpful either.
Oh, I know. That's why I made my joke.
I know. I was like, yes, accurate, correct. And while I'm on the phone with him, I'm sitting there and we're talking, and all of a sudden this guy walks in. Is it offensive if I call him, like, a tweaker? Like, he's tweaking? Like, he's on drugs, you know, and you can tell he's not all there. Because I don't mean to say it in an offensive term, I mean to say it in, like, I don't know what else to call that. But he's tweaking out, and I just, on the phone, go, oh, hey, a tweaker just walked in, and I watch him walk into the casino, and he starts walking up to people. And my brother goes, huh, and he starts just walking faster. Because as you know,
with your track record,
I have a history of being attacked. So he's like, yeah, I'll get there faster. And then he just joined me on my little adventure. We wandered around. We got to see a bunch of the places. It was nice. Like, because I much prefer the exploring aspect of going to Vegas. Because there's so much to fucking see. We went through 3 hotels. And each one had a different vibe, different things in it. Like, which ones did we go to? We explored the Harris, and then we wandered outside, and we went inside the Link, and then we went through that, and then we went inside the Flamingo for a little bit. To which I was like, oh yeah, you gotta get the Flamingo merch at the Flamingo, come on. Everything's so pink. To the point where we were like, is this a love hotel?
Oh,
They're
wow.
all-
Yeah, good question.
they're
Yeah.
all love hotels.
They are all that's the correct answer.
Oh, I know.
But
I've been
the-
to Vegas plenty of times.
Oh yeah. No, I don't go that often. And my brother's coming, like, I think my brother's going on another trip there eventually, so, like, it was good for him to be exploring. So he was, like, I felt a little bad. I was like, oh man, he's coming to babysit me because, like, you know, I shouldn't be alone. And he's like, no, he didn't want to do any of that stuff either. Not that he can't or, like, normally, or not that he normally can't or, like, he's, like, me and, like, doesn't want to. It's more of a, like, just not feeling it today, gonna come back eventually, let's just explore. So, like, now he knows where to take his boys whenever he goes. And then, what else happened that night? Oh, we went to Rainforest Cafe that night.
That's
the meme.
right. You did post up pictures.
Yeah, I did. We took so many pictures, which I'm not gonna show because I don't like showing people my face, but also, that sure was Rainforest Cafe Las Vegas. Cause, like, you know why we went. The Ted Nivis and Eddie videos. Teehee. Teehee. We've all seen them. We all know them, of course.
Yes,
If you
totally
haven't, go watch them.
understand what we are talking about. Mm-hmm. Those.
So there's literally only like 12 Rainforest Cafes left in the country.
Mm-hmm.
11 of them are here. 1 of them is in Canada.
That sounds about
But apparently
right.
the Canadian one slaps, apparently. But, like, you know, I am on the complete opposite side. I'm closer to Mexico than I am Canada, so, I mean, we're not doing that. So fucking, yeah, we went to Rainforest Cafe. It was nice. It was cool. My mom tried they had a stand where they were selling slushies, and I was like, ooh, I kind of want to take a sip of one. And then I read the sign closer, and they're weed slushies. And I'm like, oh, thank God I read it. I would have asked, and my cousins definitely would have given me a sip. But, cousin orders one. She feels the excess. My mom has some of it. She says she doesn't feel anything. But, like, I didn't tell her. But oh my god, it was so obvious that it hit her. I don't think she's ever been high before, which is why she didn't know. But her movements suddenly got slower, and she was talking a little slower, and I was like, oh, mother. Oh, mom. I'm glad she had a good time, but just... That was funny. Just, no, I'm not feeling it. Yeah, sure.
But, like, did she figure it out afterwards?
No, I don't know if she ever did. Well, she knew it was. She knew she was taking it, but she just didn't know what being high felt like. I think, because she's like me, boring and clean in that sense.
Simple and clean.
Simple. I love Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, that was day 1. Day 2 was the actual Pokemon day, which, like, oh my god, was it? The first half was a fucking disaster. Holy shit, they could not get shit to work. It took my cousin an hour and a half just to connect to the game, because the second that the event dropped, everyone was like, I can't play. It took me 30 minutes to get in, and it took my cousin an hour and a half. Everyone else was in, but, like, glitching. But, like, it was a fun event. I got... What was my end total? 22 shinies. Which is a lot. 22 individual shinies. I don't think I got any repeats, but I ended up with a lot. By the time we got back to the hotel, well, I guess before we get there, I don't think there's any memorable standout moments. A lot of the time we got separated because of how big the crowds were, and then we had to try to find each other because cell service was not great because of all the people playing. So we ended up losing people, and we're like, but it was fine. Everyone ended up back there. One of the things that did happen, though, was we went to Strip Cheese, one of the food trucks that they had over there, and it was so good. It was so delicious. I loved it. I got the mac and cheese, like, egg roll, basically.
Ew.
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 I know what it sounds like. It was I knew it when I took a bite of it. I was like, oh, this is gonna destroy me later, but oh my god, is it so good.
No.
It was so tasty. It's just mac and cheese, like, basically wrapped up and deep fried in, like, a little egg roll thing.
No. Why are you like a 5-year-old who just picked up shit off the floor and ate it?
Listen!
No,
it was good.
Gross.
No, you wanted to get grosser? The name of it was Daddy's on a Roll. I knew that would get you.
I'm not a big fan of mac and cheese. Too much cheese. Too much of it.
I don't mind mac and cheese, but, like, it doesn't need to be served that way.
It was crunchy on the outside and then nice and soft on the inside.
Can you stop? Can you be
stopped? No. But I had 3.5.
What the fuck? I am peeking my mic because of you, but
they're not that big. It was really good. I stopped at 3.5 because I was like, if I have any more, I will literally die. Which I came close. Because the expected happened, and I ruined not 1, but 2 bathrooms. Because I thought I was, we were getting in line to get t-shirts because, I don't know how, but they did not run out. The line was so long at the beginning of the day, and then around the end, we're like, the line's short, and it looks like they still have some, and my mom goes to the front, and they're like, oh yeah, they still have all our sizes. So, like, sick. They get in line, and I look at them, and I go, you guys get the shirts, I'm in pain, I'll be back. And I run over, the bathroom line's long, and I can feel it, I'm starting to sweat, it looks like I'm dying, and I just turn to the people in line, and I'm like, can I please just... I'm hurting. Like... You know, I don't like talking to strangers. I don't like
especially about your shit.
Yeah, my shit was so bad that any of my normal social anxiety went out the fucking window. I'm like, I'm going to die if I don't go in there, please.
The egg roll should have been named Daddy's Not Done With You.
Oh, that's so much worse. Oh, I hate that. Ooh. Oh, but I
also, Cersei is like barking up a storm over here, so get that, Houndoom gif out.
Oh yeah, of course. I love editing. Where did I leave off? Fucking
bathroom destroyed.
Oh yeah. So I go to the first bathroom and I'm there for a while to the point where my family tries to call me and I'm like, I am still shitting, and they're like, all right, cool. Meet us up over by, I think, the Torchic, because they had like the big like inflatables, which all looked fucking awful. I loved them. Like they all looked awful / positive, but like, come on, they could have done better.
Are we saying like awful, like the Pikachu that's got the slide coming out of its crotch and you go through the butthole or something?
No, what?
There is like some floaty or whatever to where it's like you can get out, you can like slide down a slide off of Pikachu's crotch. They got so many weird blow-ups for Pikachu and they're all inappropriate.
I don't know.
I'll have to see if I can find that.
I know the one about the mouth, but I don't know. What? I'm Googling that later. I do not like that. I might not Google that. Never mind. But when I leave off, so I like meet us by the Torchic, and I'm like, okay, and then once I'm done in there, I start heading over there, like in that direction. I stop for a raid because they're fucking everywhere, and then like as I'm finishing the raid, I'm like, oh, I wasn't done, and I find another bathroom to destroy. And I have to explain that to my family once I finally found them. I'm like, it was rough. Daddy's on a roll. I would look, despite all that, 100% would do it again. Just would prep for the aftermath better. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. That was so good. Strip cheese, good job. You destroyed me.
Oh, it's not a slide. You crawl in. That's what it was.
Oh no.
I am sending you these. Please continue.
Okay. But yeah, besides that, GoFest went pretty cool. It was fun. At the beginning, we had an arrangement because my cousin's a fucking asshole / positive. My cousin's an asshole. He was like, every time we do a Pokemon Community Day, because he always shows up at my house, kicks my door down, and picks me up like a cat and goes, all right, we're gonna go play Community Day, and I just go, okay, in acceptance. And we go play, and he's like, if you catch more shinies than me, you are walking home. Which always he does it every time, whether it's just the two of us or like we have someone else there, so I have witnesses that this happens. Of just, hey, if you catch more, you're walking home. And I'm like, okay. So he'll ask me as we're playing of just like, how many do you have? And I'm like, how many do you have? Because I'm like, I'm not saying the number unless he says one that's higher than mine. And so he's doing this while we're out there. And he's like, if you catch more, you're walking home, and we're in Vegas, so good luck. And I'm like, ah. And my sister's like, oh, that's not fair. Look, we'll give her some help. We'll say if she catches more than all of us collectively, then she walks home. And I'm like, okay, I'll manage that. I can do that. So we get back to the hotel, and at this point I have 20. Because I caught 2 more, like, while we were in the hotel. So I had 20. And so I started asking people what their numbers are. And, like, I asked my brother, my other cousin, like his sister. I asked my sister. And they're at 18 when I do the total. And I'm like, mother, how many did you get? Thinking, please say like 2 or more. Please, oh my god, please. And she goes, I only got 1, and I am sweating. Because they're like, alright, how many did you get? And I'm like, and they're like, come on, there's no way. And I'm like, 20. They're like, no, we tried to help you. And I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I just can't stop winning.
I can't stop winning.
My masseuse is actually very upset. She was actually there during that event too. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I didn't catch one shiny. And I went, yeah, it's probably because my friends, the Clark family, probably took them all. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they have this like ungodly luck or whatever. So they probably just stole all of them like Team Rocket. So I am so sorry for my friend.
Listen. I don't have an excuse. That's just probably right.
Though question, I have a question because she even brought it up to me. And she's like, well, my husband got one. But he only got one when he paid to get like one of the packages. Then the shiny popped up. How much money did you guys did you keep buying stuff? Or
we got the tickets. Okay, did they have the tickets?
Yeah, I believe they had the tickets to go to the event.
We had the tickets, and then we bought, each of us got, like, the Raid Lover expansion, which was another 15. But even then, that doesn't check out, because they all also bought the other extra stuff. Hell, my cousin spent more than I did. Okay. I still ended up with 22 at the end.
No, I was just, my masseuse and I were trying to figure out if it was do they kind of loosen it if you put in more money into the app, or is it just purely luck?
I think it was just luck.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
but it evened out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it evened out with the rest of the trip.
Yeah. Oh my god, the rest of the trip. Because that was just Saturday. We left on we were supposed to leave around the afternoon on Sunday. We left in the late evening. Or in the early evening-ish on Sunday. Because this was such a roller coaster of emotions that I was giving you guys the play-by-play as it happened. So, that morning, my brother and I we're like, okay, we have some time, I'm up early, let's go explore a little more before we leave, let's explore some nooks now that it's not, like, pitch darkness and crowds. Which, like, that was nice, that was fun. The problem was, we didn't know that we were supposed to be checking out at 11, and we're like, oh, we'll get back at 11. So we explored, like, the entirety of Caesar's Palace. That's what we did that morning. Because we were gonna go to Hell's Kitchen, and we're like, oh, we should find it, and then we just kept running around, and we found a bunch of stuff, and we're like, this is neat, this is cool. But we were also like, we don't belong here. This is for, like, rich people. But we run around there, we're having a good time. We show up, and they're like, there you guys are! Why would you check your phones? And we're like, what? And I check, and there's a missed call, and I was like, you guys must have called, like, 5 minutes ago, because, like, I was playing Pokemon Go and recording footage, because my cousin wanted us to record the trip. I was like, you guys did not call us in time. It's like, we were already on our way back, we wouldn't have gone faster. And they're like, what were you doing? We gotta get out now. And we're like, shit. And we also had to change, because we were going to Hell's Kitchen. And, like, they had, like, a dress code of you kinda gotta be, like, not how I dress, basically. Business casual, because I'm, like, sitting there in, like, a hoodie and shorts, you know, as I do. So it's like, that's not gonna fly. So, we hurry all our stuff out, we get checked out, we get our stuff situated for parking, and then we go to Hell's Kitchen. And I light up, like, immediately. My entire family can see the absolute joy radiating from me. Because as we've discussed on the podcast before, I am a giant Hell's Kitchen fan. I love the show so much. It's so fucking stupid sometimes. It's great. I love it. And I love it in, I love it ironically and unironically, too. Because I do enjoy, like I've mentioned before, when I watch reality shows, I look at it as, like, a murder mystery of trying to figure out who the winner is before we get there. Because if the editors are doing their job correctly, you should be satisfied when you get to the end, much like how you would in a murder mystery. You should be like, he did it, and all the pieces come together, and it's like, he won because all of these things happened, which I've been able to correctly guess the winners for a few seasons now that I've been doing that. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of the show. I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay stuff, so when I get in there, I'm, like, looking around, and I'm like, oh my god, We're like, here. We're in Hell's Kitchen. I was just so happy. Then we sat down and I'm like looking around. They have like, oh my god, the theming. They have pitchforks in every decoration there is. Even when you think there isn't, you will spot a tiny pitchfork in everything. And it's like, oh my god.
Their forks better have just been pitchforks, like miniature pitchforks, and not actual forks.
I bet if you could, like, the only thing with that is that they do not want to sacrifice the, like, dining experience, you know?
But it'd be so fucking funny!
Oh, it'd be so funny, I agree. I agree with you. But it's like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do much with my Caesar salad if I got, like, a little pitchfork.
Hey, it's like chopsticks. You actually get to, like, savor each piece you get and, like, think about the food.
Fair.
As opposed to a fork.
I'm sure if they released, like, a Hell's Kitchen, but, like, fast food, more casual version, they'd do that.
I'm certain Gordon Ramsay Fish and Chips probably has that, actually.
That's funny.
Yeah. Which we found while we were exploring. Gordon Ramsay and Cake Boss, those two have a ridiculous amount of restaurants on the Strip specifically. Like, we bumped into Ramsay's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay Steak, Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill, Hell's Kitchen. We bumped into so many just without even trying. And each time I was like, oh my god, there it is. It's Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill. That's where the season 10 winner Christina worked. Like, just stuff like that. Because I'm a little fucking nerd goblin and I'm like, I know this. But I didn't say much of it out loud. I just whispered it to my brother and he's like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, fair. He didn't say it that harshly. But just didn't shut up. Anyway. Yeah, Hell's Kitchen. It was very cool. We show up, and everyone orders scallops except for me and my brother. We get, everybody pretty much gets the same meal, which is scallops, the beef Wellington, and the sticky toffee pudding. I get a Caesar salad and and the beef Wellington. My brother gets the lobster risotto and the beef Wellington. None of us were really in the mood for the toffee pudding, and if like we wanted it anyway, I'd just taken it from someone else. My cousin just gets the beef Wellington because his stomach is small. And, you know, appetizers come out, and we're all enjoying it. You can see the absolute one of my I think it was my sister took a photo of me, and you can see the joy just radiating off me in the photo because I'm in Hell's Kitchen. And I'm just, like, that was probably the peak of happiness for that trip. And I was talking to my brother about it last night, because the following made things complicated. So my brother has his lobster risotto, and I have my Caesar, and, like, I'll like, put pictures up of the food right here, of what I had, because, like, oh my god, like, it looks so fucking good. It was so good. Oh my god. Every Caesar salad I've had since does not taste as good, and I'm a little upset about that. But that's to be expected. But, so, we all finish our appetizers, and I'm, like, sitting there tunnel visioning, just, you know, I'm doing great, I'm having a good time. And then suddenly, to my right, I hear my brother go, I'm having trouble breathing.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, that's probably fine, because my joy is so high that I can't come down, like, mentally. I am in such a good mood that it doesn't register that my brother is dying to my right. And it doesn't even, like, it doesn't start to settle in until one of them comes over, and they're like, oh, we'll call a paramedic for you. And I'm like, paramedic? What? He's just... didn't he just eat too much? What's happening? And we found out that my brother has a lobster allergy. We found out right there and then. And we were like, but he's just allergic to shrimp. And like, the paramedic's like, oh no, sometimes, like, most of the time when you have, like, a shrimp allergy, it will develop into a full-on shellfish allergy over time. Yep. And we're like, that's cool. And they're like, alright, we called the paramedics, and, like, my brother's coherent during all this, he's fine, he's just having a bit trouble breathing. And he even, like, walks outside so that way they don't have to bring, like, any of the medical stuff in to disturb the other guests. He did that. They offered to come in, and he's like, nah, I can walk out, it's fine. So he walks outside, And they bag up his food for him because the beef Wellingtons had arrived at that point. And it's not that I don't care, but the entire time that they're like talking to him and doing all that stuff, I'm sitting there eating. Because my brother's suffering's not gonna stop me from enjoying this really good beef Wellington, and I feel like an ass for saying that. But
Brother,
also,
can you
I'm
die
like
quieter. I'm like enjoying my meal right now.
You're ruining the Hell's Kitchen vibes. But it was like, he's calm. The reason why I wasn't freaking out was he was calm. He was still able to talk. He was very coherent. He was here. He was fine. And I was like, okay, if he's like here and present and fine, then
did you guys just
I
not
don't
have
wanna...
an EpiPen on you or anything, or
he took some Benadryl, but
you should have it if he has any kind of shellfish, including like just only shrimp at the time, but now shellfish, you should have just carried an EpiPen with him at all times.
I think my mom had it, but we weren't sure if we were supposed to use it yet. And then when the paramedic came over, they were like, no, we got it. So we're like, okay. But yeah, I was just eating my food. My other thing was I didn't want my brother to feel bad because I had been talking up going to Hell's Kitchen for weeks. And I didn't want him to feel like he ruined it for me. You know what I mean? I didn't want him
But
to
he
feel
totally
bad.
ruined it. Fuck you, brother.
Oh, no, he did not. He did not.
No. Made the story much more interesting because honestly, if Fishy just came in here and was like, is the best beef Wellington I've ever had, I would have told her to shut up and move on with the story. The fact that her brother was dying, I'm more intrigued by, okay, go on.
No, after the fact, we were all like, this is definitely a memorable trip. We will not forget this. So he walks outside, we all eat our food, we get payments, we're starting to get ready for payment, like my cousin and everyone else is enjoying their sticky toffee pudding or whatever. I go outside, and it's starting to settle in more now that the high's coming down, because they have a gurney, and they have him hooked up to a few things, and they're like, yeah, we're going to a hospital. And I'm like, oh, hospital? They're like, yeah. Well, here's the address, we were taking him there, all that. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go let everyone else know. And my mom, they're like, yeah, only one person's allowed in the ambulance, so my mom goes with them. And I go back, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to the hospital. And they're like, oh, okay. And by the way, this entire time, our waitress, she felt so terrible about it. You could tell she felt so bad, and we're like, none of us knew. She wouldn't have known. We told her about like the shrimp allergy before. It's not her fault.
It's not.
Like, look, the staff at Hell's Kitchen, I will give them that. They all did a fantastic job. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They helped my brother out. They did all that, and like even like ignoring like the health stuff, I don't think my glass of water was ever even at half. They were constantly walking by and just refilling everyone's waters, or just, like, if my soda was at, like, 3/4, they'd be like, alright, here's a new one. Oh, okay. They were so attentive and so nice and great. Like, I'll give them that. Staff, good job. You did great. You deserve that, like, I think I left, like, a $50 tip. Like, I left a good tip. I don't remember how much everything was. But I left a pretty decent tip. Because they deserved it. And then afterwards, like, we all go, like, well, before going to the hospital, of course, I got some Hell's Kitchen merch. But when I went to go pay for it, they're like, hey, your credit card said no. And I said, all right, here's my debit card. And then I get a text from my bank that says, you don't live in Vegas, and you've been spending quite a bit of money there. Is this you? And I'm like, yes, it's me. All right. Which was the best option for that, because when it said my credit card was declined, I freaked out for a minute. Like, the high was gone at that point. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, what the fuck happened? Do I need to freeze my credit card? And it's just, no. Bank was just concerned. And I'm like, thank you, but I'm good. And then we're like, all right, let's go to the hospital now, I guess. And we're on our way there. We're walking to our car. And at this point, I'm reminded that we are in Vegas because there is a man dressed as the Paw Patrol dog walking in front of us, like enough distance to where he won't notice us, but he keeps looking at people and going, woof, I love you. Rar. Woof. And people will honk at him and he'll go, I love you. And everything about it, I turned to one of my cousins and I went, I don't know how I feel right now. I just went to Hell's Kitchen. My brother's in the hospital. Motherfucking Paw Patrol. I love you. What am I supposed to be feeling right now? It was like my brain had stopped working. I didn't know what to do. But yeah, we went to the hospital. They're like, yeah, he's fine. We put him on some medicine. He'll be fine. He's just gonna be careful for a few weeks. So we wait outside the hospital for a while for him, eventually looking to our left and realizing, oh, there's a bottle of piss outside.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we're like, sure, why not? And then eventually he comes out, we're like, you're good? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And then while we were waiting, Steve calls us. You know Steve. He calls us and he goes, we can't take him anywhere, can we? Like, once we figured out he was fine, that's when we started making jokes about it. I'm just like, man, like, we make jokes about me being in danger. But his, like, when he is in danger, like, the actual medical staff has to be involved. Like, I'll walk it off because I'm durable, but he, like, has actual close calls. We're like, this dude, this guy. But yes, for the record, my brother is fine. He was on, you know, like, allergy medication, so he was very tired when he came in, and we're like, that's fair. He's sleepy. And I didn't feel... I was still a little worried about him, and I was only feeling a bit better when he started bullying my mom in the car ride on the way home. I was like, now he's back to normal. Because we're a family that bullies each other. And he's fine. He's good. He had his beef Wellington eventually. He said it was good. Probably, like, you know, of course, would have been better if he had it there, but still. He's alright, we're fine. And then there was no incident on the way home. But we were just like, what a trip. All of that. What the fuck? Why most of that? Why all of that? I don't belong in Vegas.
No, I think you belong there. You sound pretty chaotic, and I kind of want to go to Vegas with you to see what's going to happen now. And I swear to God, if it's the most mundane, boring trip, I'm going to be so mad at you that whole trip and be like, make something interesting happen.
My brother and I, we've noticed that when it's the two of us specifically together, no one else has to, like, sometimes other people are around, but most of the time when it's just the two of us, that is when weird shit happens. Every time we go on a car ride together, no matter what, something strange happens. Whether or not that's good or bad, we're just like, some odd occurrence happens. And we're like, this only happens when I'm with you. To each other, we're just like, this only happens when you're around. So, like, you kind of have to have both of us, I guess, in order for things to happen. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry that took 30 minutes to explain.
You're good.
Almost 40. But just, good fucking lord.
You're absolutely good. That is...
It was an eventful... You know what? I think it would have been weirder if you came back from Vegas and nothing unordinary happened.
Exactly.
Fair. You know what? Fair enough.
At that point, I'd question if you're even fishy.
True.
You could have come back and been like, oh, I went to the Pokemon event and, like, I got, like, 2 shinies. It was fine. And then we went to Hell's Kitchen and, like, we had a nice meal.
The food was good.
The food was good. We walked around, had a nice time. It was really hot, but I had my water. Like, if it would be like so boring.
Yeah. No, this is the... See, this is what's nice about being me, I guess, is I will always have stories for the podcast.
I was just kind of waiting for, like, yeah, so then I didn't want to play the slot machine, but my mom's like, come on, just play one round. So I put in a quarter. I won the jackpot. Turns out it's actually the Mafia's money, and so now I'm on the run from the Mafia. But I got 15 shinies on that run. That's what I was expecting to happen. No, I did get the play-by-play,
You don't-
so I already knew how the story went, but I loved hearing it. But
Yeah.
I was expecting something like that to, like, be snuck in there, like, oh, I didn't tell you, but...
It's upsetting that, like, that impersonation, that, like, hypothetical, I can see that happening. I'm just like, oh, yeah, I'm on the run for the Mafia now, but hey, look, I got a shiny Rayquaza.
You were, like, the only thing that was missing was, like, oh, and, like, say you actually decided to have, like, a drink or two. Like, I got drunk, and then the next morning I woke up and I was married. I got married to Germ.
No. Oh yeah, Jerma. I texted you guys that. Apparently Jerma was in the area while we were at Hello.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why I
because
mentioned that.
Yeah, because they had the convention going on during that time. Like, Hell of a Boss was there and everything.
Okay. We meant to look it up. Thank you for the reminder. We saw cosplayers, like, everywhere, and we're like, something's happening.
Yeah, no, a convention was during that time. My family decided they were going on vacation that time. My masseuse went out there. You're out there, and I'm sitting here going, what the fuck? What the fuck am I doing with my life? And then I stare at my project and I go, oh, yeah.
Look, I was dealing with different nerd shit.
Oh, I know, but I was like, man, it's gotta be packed out there this weekend.
Yes, it was.
Because
my God, it was.
one, it's the weekend after Valentine's weekend. Or it is the Valentine's weekend. 2, Pokemon. 3, it's Vegas. 4, the freaking convention. I'm like, God, that place has gotta be, like, shoulder to shoulder with people.
Yeah, no, our initial hotel room was, like, super cheap, because we got it, like, months in advance. And then the second one was a little more pricey, because, like, it was closer to the time. And we were like, can we get one that's, like, connected?
Yeah.
Which we did. Because, like, we're not gonna squeeze 7 people into one hotel room. That's ridiculous. That's, like 4
That's
people.
what I do.
Yeah.
Yay,
That's
conventions, because I'm poor.
Yeah. I want to travel more. I miss it so much.
Yeah, I want to do that too. I just want to go have vacation. That would be nice.
I like just, like, looking at places, you know? I like just looking around and seeing the scenery and all that, like a lost toddler. Which I have to describe it that way because my family panics because they know I'm like that.
You are a
like,
toddler.
Where'd she go?
You are a toddler. Because you go, ooh, Quans!
Leave me alone. Let me be.
No.
I enjoy coloring. Leave me
No,
alone.
I have to babysit you, you little troublemaker.
I do cause problems.
You
not
do!
much. That's true.
You do! Put your hearing aids in, Grandma! Yeah, I
Okay, but that's comedy. That's funny. That's content.
That's you being drunk.
That is me being drunk. And, like, look, I can make content. I'll say that. Good or bad, I will make content wherever I am.
Touche.
I will cause podcast stories.
Why can't you be like Kaz? I liked hanging out with Kaz. Kaz was fine. Like, we had lots of fun. We went to the video game arcade.
I got high
and
on
like...
Benadryl. I got high on Benadryl. What do you mean?
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Damn, she's so chill. I wonder what happened.
Okay, I was talking about, like, the other parts, but that was really funny. But I'm just staring at, like, Kaz, like, dying in a chair, and I'm just like, hey, what did you give her?
Did we
Give
tell
her
that
good
story
shit.
before?
No,
I don't
we
know if on
haven't.
the podcast.
I don't think we've told it on the podcast.
Very short, little story. I had gone over to go visit my girlfriend, and we were spending the week together. And because Jax and her live in, like, the same, like, city, I guess?
Yeah, in the same area.
Yeah, the same area. We decided, oh, let's just go meet up and, like, spend a day together. It'd be fun. And I woke up that morning and I was sick. I wasn't sure if it was allergies or if I got a cold or if it was the COVID. I don't think it was COVID. I think it was just like a nasty cold from traveling. So I was like, I feel like this is allergies. I don't know what to do. And we were gonna go to a garden, like a botanical garden. It's like, it's gonna get worse if we're in the botanical garden. And so my girlfriend Mandy, she got me some allergy medicine. She was like, oh, this is Benadryl. Here, just take it. And I was like, okay. So I took it, and then it was gonna take a while. So Jax picked us up, and we were driving on our way there. And we told Jax, like, oh yeah, I was feeling sick, so I took a pill. I took Benadryl.
No, we are going to a botanical garden outside. So yeah, it'd be great because of the allergies. But we gotta walk everywhere.
And Jax was like, you took a Benadryl? I'm like, yeah. Why?
Because with Benadryl, you can't have allergies if you're knocked out.
Yep, true.
And I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a normal allergy medicine. I did not know that it knocked you out. And I swear to you, the moment you said that, it hit hard. I looked back at Mandy.
And Mandy's like, no, I did. And I was like, you drugged your girlfriend. She's like, I didn't mean to.
Damn, drugged on.
So, like,
drugged on.
I was because I was sitting in the passenger seat in front with Jax, and I was just, like, feeling loopy, and I was forcing myself to stay awake because I was like, I don't want to fall asleep. I was like, I was starting to feel like, I knew I was talking, I didn't know what I was saying. I just knew I was upset over having Benadryl.
You were there, you were there without being there. Like, you were saying like sentences that seemed like legit sentences, but you know, the light behind the eyes was kind of dim. And I'm like watching you as I'm trying to like drive and just making sure you're good. And you're just like, Mandy, you drugged me. And Mandy's like, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to help. And I was like, God, Mandy, I only get one day with Kaz, and what do you do?
So we just like, so Jax was just like, I have a blanket in the back, just like grab it and like fall asleep. I'm like, okay. And so as I'm falling asleep, I'm like mumbling. I remember that much. And we still had a few bit of the trip to go. So I just fell asleep, and I remember waking up and I felt a whole lot better. And we were at the parking lot for the garden. And afterwards I was just fine. But I start out the day
drugged. It was an interesting day. It was really fun. It's just, yeah, that was the start of it. And this is like, for me, the first time meeting Kaz in person. And she's drugged in the passenger seat of my car. And I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Luckily, like you said, you woke up, we had fun walking around the botanical thing. It started getting hot. But, my favorite part was, me helping you learn to drive a little bit. So, I just wanted to help, Kaz, drive a little bit. And all I was gonna do is take her to a parking lot and just kind of drive my car around, because my car is pretty easy to drive. And, went to an empty parking lot off to the side, and I said, okay, cool, just, because we had some time to kill before we made it to the video game museum. Or this was after the video game museum. Either or. Mm-hmm. And so Kaz is nervous about driving. I'm like, don't worry about it. And Mandy looks over and she's like, yeah, just don't Tina it. And I stare over at her. So if anybody here knows of Bob's Burgers, Tina is a fantastic character. Being the preteen she is, Bob is going to teach her how to drive. And so he's like, okay, get in the car. We're going to drive in this, big empty parking lot. It's the first time. And there's only one car in the parking lot. And Editor Fishy just kind of like post up a little bit of this video. And Tina is behind the wheel. And there's only one car in the parking lot. And it's far away. And she's, like, trying to drive really slow in the parking lot, but she keeps, like, correcting herself to drive towards the goddamn one car. And he's like, Tina, turn the wheel. Tina, just turn the wheel. Just stop the car, turn the wheel. And so I'm thinking of this moment. Mandy is laughing about this moment. Kaz doesn't know what we're talking about. And I'm like, I refuse to show Kaz what we're talking about because I don't want to get this in her head.
Yeah, don't make her nervous.
I don't want to get this. And I was like, look, I'll show you after we do the driving. Just, get behind the wheel. So she gets behind the wheel. And I was like, besides, there's no other car in the parking lot. A car pulls into the fucking parking lot and just parks. Person doesn't get out of the car. They just sit there. And I'm like, oh, fucking course. So I'm like trying to watch and make sure Kaz doesn't pull a Tina and go for the one car. Luckily, Kaz was doing fantastic. Just driving around. That person never got out of that car. And eventually they just drove off afterwards. It was really weird. But it wasn't until like we were done with the driving and everything that I showed Kaz the video because I refused to have shown it to her beforehand. But that was a fun time. When are you coming back out here, man?
I want to go back. I don't know.
When are we all hanging out? I want to see you guys.
Yeah.
I need Cass to know how actually short I am. I think...
Oh yeah, and Kaz is tall, so you're fucked, man.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna be a fucking, like, speck on the ground.
Yeah.
Actual rat just at your ankles, just hello!
Hey, if it makes you feel better, I had a friend one time that was 4'1".
Oh,
so
that is tiny!
Oh, she was super tiny. And she hated it because it made dating very awkward.
Yeah. No,
So.
my ex was a whole foot taller than me, I get it.
Oh, no. It was... Guys didn't want to date her because she was
looked
too
like
much
a
of a
child.
child, and then there was guys that wanted to date her because she looked like a child. It made dating awkward for her.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So, yeah. Why are people terrible? But... Oh, good. We don't have time to get into my stuff because it's way too long.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Oh, damn.
It's probably something I shouldn't be talking about anyways. But...
Oh, it's fine.
It's
Oh,
okay.
you'll hear the tea.
You know
I
what?
just don't need to be putting it here.
You know
We're
what?
just not just off the record.
We had a
Yeah.
theme. We had a theme for this episode.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Vacation.
We did have a theme. That was nice.
Wow.
Wow.
Accidental, but very cool. But when are we all meeting up? When are we all seeing each other?
I don't know.
The 1 out of 4 meetup.
I don't know, man.
And like
and-
in
I
normal
was
1
gonna say,
out of 4
who's missing?
fashion, one of us can't be there.
Well, I wanted to have a vacation time with just like the beginning and the friend crew, and that didn't work. So now I'm just
No,
like,
it did
man, I
not.
just want to have a vacation, but like, I can't. Like, Dragon Con canceled because it's just too expensive, and I have a lot of things to pay for thought.
Mm-hmm.
Or in this case, the Heroes of Tomorrow, if I have to reiterate that every time, because everybody goes, it cannot be actually named that. And I'm like, I don't know what you want from me.
I mean, YouTube is changing their monetization things or whatever. We don't, we don't make money off this podcast, but I mean, like, we're not gonna get in trouble for bad words anymore. Which everyone was like, that's a pretty good rollback. All right, nice first policy. Can we have dislikes back now, please? I beg.
I really don't care about the dislikes. I don't care about any of that. But
It's more like having the dislikes available helps you like avoid like scams, like bad videos, like say tutorials that just don't work. You're like, oh, this clearly works. Look at all the likes it has.
that's fair. That's fair. I didn't think about it in that context.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So I'm like, just put it back. What harm does it do? Or at the very least, give like an option as to whether or not you want the dislikes visible, which I think was a thing.
I don't know. I'm not on YouTube that often. I need to be, but I'm just too busy with shit.
That's fair. I am on there too much. Watching
Okay.
videos.
I watch videos, but that's like it. I don't like look at the algorithm or anything. I just kind of squint when I go, that's an ad.
The only thing I do on YouTube is watch videos. What the fuck else is there to do, Jax?
Well, again, I'm not paying attention to the monetization or the likes and the dislikes. I'm just like, I have my set group of people to watch, and then I turn it off when I'm done going through the list. And by even then, I'm not even watching. I'm playing them in the background as I'm trying to scribble things down for my team.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
So I don't even know if I can consider that watching. Like, I just picked up the freaking Yakuza games. I love them. They're great. The problem is, okay, Majima is the best. Anyways,
Yes!
God, he is. I love him. I love him so much. But they put all the games for free on PlayStation. So I like downloaded them and I've been playing them.
Yes! Oh my god, wait, are you on...
They just, I'm finished. The problem is I'm almost done with 0. I'm halfway through 1, and then I started the Samurai one because I was morbidly curious to see what were doing with that.
Did you get Nugget?
No.
Go bowling.
I don't like bowling!
Go bowling!
I don't like bowling!
Go get Nugget! He is important!
I hate bowling, I'm so bad at it!
Yeah, you have to do bowling! I don't want to spoil how it goes, but you're gonna do bowling so you can get Nugget!
I don't want to bowl, I don't like...
You have to!
I don't like the bowling, I don't like the baseball, I don't like the fishing!
Well.
Actually angry. You mentioned the last one, actually angry.
Oh, I know.
Whoa!
Is that the first game?
0.
Okay. I'll have to go look in 0, because like I said, I'm almost done with that one.
There is going to be a legendary side quest you get, and I need you to message me when you get there. And it's called Be My Baby, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you get there, and I need you to tell me when you get there.
Okay, I'll work on that. But anyways, back to my point.
Yes.
I picked up the Yakuza games because I've always had like people talk about it, and like I even sold it at, when I worked at GameStop. And I was like, I know it has this guy. It's got this weird guy, Majima, in it. He's kind of funny. Majima's amazing. Yes. Anyways, did you know the English version of him on the PlayStation 2 is played by Mark Hamill? That was hilarious to hear. Hey, Kiryu-chan. I was like, stop it, Mark. Stop it. But
he doesn't remember doing it.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
They'll bring it up in interviews and he's like, I do not remember.
That's so fucking funny. But my problem with the game, because again, I'm having fun with it. I like how silly it is and I like how dark it gets. I've got inspiration definitely for it. But the fact that it's in Japanese, not that I have a problem with it being in Japanese, I think it's great. I actually have to really fucking pay attention to what they are saying as opposed to me drawing and playing a video game at the same time. I can't do that here. Because then I'd go, wait, where the fuck was I supposed to go?
Just, oh no, what it is.
And I have to go back and play a moment. But I have fallen into that fandom.
Congratulations, welcome. I'm glad you know that Majin was one of the best characters.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good. I love him.
If my sister, because she listens to podcasts, if she listens to this episode, she's gonna get to this part and just be
yeah. But editor Fishy, please just keep putting images of him up, fill up the whole screen with him because he is best.
Oh, Majima everywhere?
Yes, yeah, everywhere. Just keep putting it up. Like all the variations of him, and all the variations I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
All his variations. Look. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, we are actually 2 minutes before.
Yes. No, we're still good. I'm keeping track of time. We're doing good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess, I don't know, I guess I'm sort of the odd one out in the whole YouTube thing, because now that I'm, making, YouTube videos now, I lost the fight in Temptation, and I started writing my Fire Emblem one already. I started on the script. Now I'm actually looking at numbers and all that. I'm learning how to do better thumbnails. I'm learning about, algorithm stuff. I'm looking into it a little bit.
Just put tits in the thumbnail.
No.
Big old tits.
No. I don't want to.
Why not?
They look nice, but I don't want to.
Fair. Is that what we're ending it on?
Is that? No, I refuse. We're not doing that.
Tits in the thumbnail. Thank you, everybody. Click.
No! My thumbnails are clean!
You got a minute. You got less than a minute.
We're fine. Look, but what I was saying is, I've been looking into algorithm stuff. It's interesting. So now I'm actually paying attention to whether there's a YouTube update of just hey, this is what you can and can't do on YouTube. That's why the original cut of my first video had had the word fuck in the first like 3 seconds, and I was looking into it. I'm like, oh shit, wait, I'm not allowed to have that at all. Uh-oh. Oh no. Susan's gonna strike me down, except Susan's gone now, so I don't know who's the new guy. Whatever his name is, it's not gonna be as funny as going like, oh no, Susan's gonna come to my house and murder my family. Oh no. That is a joke for the censors. That is a joke. That is a funny. I do not.
And we're at the hour mark, and Susan's gonna kill. We're at the hour mark, so that means Susan is going to kill you. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
No!
Say goodbye to Fishy. She'll be the 1 out of 4 missing next time.